Welcome in, welcome back. We're the Real Selection Committee. My name's Mike, this is Greg. All right, now we're going to jump into, I want to do a playoff format right now. The top 12 teams that are going to make it into the playoffs here, midway through the season.
Yeah.
You have your 12 teams, I have my 12 teams. Also have a couple honorable mentions that are like there hanging around that are going to make it in, or give a chance to make it in. Just honorable mention teams here. Really, one, Navy, but there's not much hope. But they're an honorable mention team that I think if things play out their way, they could get in there. I kind of liked them at the beginning of the season. That's an honorable mention team for me. You got an honorable mention team?
I'm going to say Ole Miss. Okay, I think they're going to be just under, but you know what? The way this crazy season's gone, they might win it all. But Ole Miss would be an honorable mention team for me.
Yeah. I have Ole Miss. They would be in the honorable mention. I also have Michigan as an honorable mention team here because they have a favorable schedule up till that last game against Ohio State here. If they win that one, that would put them in a driver's seat here a little bit. So that's a team I want to, as an honorable mention, to put in there.
I'm going to say Illinois. There's just something about Illinois. You know, they, like Michigan, have a favorable favorable schedule down the path. They're veteran-oriented. I think Illinois has a chance. Don't know how good it is, but I'm going to say Illinois is an honorable mention.
Mm-hmm. So, honorable mention for me is Virginia. I like Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
Here, they beat Florida State. They beat Louisville. And when I look ahead at their schedule, they got North Carolina. They're not very good. California, Wake Forest. These are teams that they got to play. The only tough, Duke. They got to play up and play that game, which is a tough one in Virginia Tech. So they could possibly contend in this ACC and have a shot.
Yeah.
With that remaining schedule. I kind of believe a little bit in Virginia here. They got some big wins on their belt here. So that was an honorable mention team for me.
I'm going to go last year's Big 12 champ, Arizona State. I don't have them in here because the way my playoffs going, I got 4 Big 10 and 4 SEC. Mm-hmm. And I believe Arizona State will be honorable mention because I think Texas Tech will beat them in the Big 12 championship game.
Yeah.
A little bit of revenge.
Yeah, and with me putting Virginia in, I just want to state this. The thing that scares me is the SEC. They're going to knock everyone out. I'm struggling with how many teams is the SEC going to get in. I worry that they only get 3 teams in, with possibly a 4 because they keep knocking each other down. So that gives hope for some of these honorable mention teams here.
Yeah.
You know, because really my only shoe-ins are going to be your Bamas and your Georgia. Now your hopefuls or some of your other teams. Mm-hmm. But anyway, let's start with our 12. Number 12 for me is the Group of 5 representative, South Florida. Yeah. They got that big game this week against Memphis, and they got Navy on their schedule. I think they win both those games, and I think they make it into the playoffs at 12.
I think they win them both too, but here again, it's so hard to call this season. My number 12 is USC. I think this team is good enough to win the rest of the year, and if they do that, I think they're good enough to end up there at number 12.
Yep. Okay, so my number 11, all right? And with that being said, with the SEC beating each other up and knocking each other out here, I'm going to go with the undefeated BYU, all right? Because I'm going to say they're undefeated. If they lose one game, get into the Big 12 championship game here, they could win it. They're guaranteed in. So they could be the one half of representative in the Big 12. And when I look at their schedule, Iowa State, these are teams that you want to play, you want to beat to contend. Texas Tech still on that schedule. Cincinnati, I think they beat Cincinnati. I think they beat Iowa. So they dump a game against Texas Tech. They got one loss. They're in the Big 12. I think they're a team that I don't want to count out. I like BYU.
Yeah, I got no problem with that. As assists now, as you recall, I was high on them last year,
Yeah.
but that was last year.
Mm-hmm.
My number 11 is Georgia Tech. I think Georgia Tech, as I stated earlier, they're just going to mope around, get into that ACC championship game. Don't know that they're going to win it, but I do have Georgia Tech in as number 11 seed. So
All right.
I guess I only have 3 Big Ten teams in. Anyway.
Yep. So my number 10 squad that's making it into the playoffs right now, and I think they're going to make it into the playoffs at the end of the season, Notre Dame. Notre Dame is the hottest team right now.
Yeah.
They got their 2 losses out of the way to very good teams. The panel's going to look at those losses as very good teams to lose to, and they were all close games here. Now let's look ahead of their schedule. You got Boston College. You got Navy. I think they beat Navy. Pitt's a tough challenge. I think they beat Pitt.
Yep.
Syracuse, Stanford. They're going to win the rest of the
They should
season
win.
out,
Yeah.
and they're going to be 10-2,
Yeah.
and I think they're going to make it in the playoffs.
Yeah, they got a trap game or 2 in there, but they should win all of them pretty easily, by the way.
Yes.
My number 10 is South Florida. I think they're the best group of 5 team. I think they get in pretty easily. And I think they're going to give somebody a headache at the number 10 spot. South Florida, to me, is going to be the number 10 seed.
Yeah. Yep. So my number 9 seed is going to be Texas Tech. I have not lost faith in this team. This team is good. Their quarterback's been banged up. He didn't play last game. And that's probably why they lost. Their schedule is here. I think it's manageable. They're going to win. They play Oklahoma State, winnable. Kansas State, they're going to win that game. BYU, you lose that, you're still into the playoff games. Central Florida, they got left on their schedule, and West Virginia. This is a team that I think is going to win the Big 12 and make it into the playoffs.
Yeah.
I have them as my number 9.
I have Texas Tech as my number 9 as well. I have them as the Big 12 champion. So I agree with you 100%. I have not lost faith in this team either. Losses happen. You know, the Buckeyes lost 2 games last year, and we see what happened there. Texas Tech, number 9, I believe they get in. Yes.
Okay. My number 8, Miami. All right. Sure, that was a terrible loss, but the struggling Carson Beck can straighten this out, play better. You see what he can do and is capable of doing. They got, let's look ahead on their schedule. They got Stanford. I win that game. You got SMU's a hurdle game here. I think got a little closer, worrying about that matchup. Syracuse, North Carolina State, Virginia Tech, and Pitt. This team can win all those games out, keep the focus, get Carson Beck back in believing in himself, because when I seen him walking off the field this Friday night, he looked like he didn't know what was going on. He was definitely lost his head. Yes.
He played like he didn't know what was going on.
Right.
But that happens. He's a young man, and he needs to just shake that off and get it the next game. My number 8 is Oregon. I think Oregon is going to do well enough to stick around and be a high seed, number 8, and we'll see how that plays out. That's what I see.
So my number 7 team here is Georgia Tech, still undefeated. With the flip-flop of what's going on in the ACC, they're the team, they're one half, I think, cemented into the ACC playoffs. Let's look at their schedule. Syracuse, it's really kind of winnable, winning out, except for last game of the season, which don't hurt them, against Georgia. That don't factor in the ACC since it's a non-conference game here. But I think they win all the games up to that Georgia game here. And that's only 1 loss on your record. That's kudos. I think you're going to make the playoffs with the 1 loss being in the ACC championship game.
Yeah. I have Georgia at number 7. They could move up higher. Don't get me wrong. They might flip flop with where I got Texas A&M, but right now I got Georgia as that third team in the SEC. Georgia to me is going to be number 7.
All right. My number 6 to make it into the playoffs, Oregon. Yes, Oregon lost to Indiana, but I still think that this is a better team than what everybody's bumping them down to. I think this team is going to make it into the playoffs. Schedule ahead of them is all winnables. Wisconsin, Iowa, Minnesota, USC's a challenge, in Washington. But I think if they lose one of them games, you're going to be a 10-2 Big Ten school. I think they're going to make it into the playoffs. That's my playoff team right there, Oregon, number 6.
My number 6 is Notre Dame. As we just discussed earlier, we believe they are going to run the table. They will finish 10-2, and they will have great wins as well as 2 close losses, which people will look at as moderate wins, if you will. Notre Dame to me is going to be the 6th seed. We'll see what happens.
So my number 5 is, people are going to snap at me for that. I got Texas A&M. They're undefeated right now, but still on their schedule. They got LSU, Missouri, South Carolina, and Texas. I just see them dumping a game along the way in one of those games in there. I like the 2 other teams from the SEC better than them.
Yeah.
I have more faith in those other 2 teams. I think they're better teams. So I dropped Texas A&M, but they're still making the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
I got them making the playoffs, but I have them dropping because I got the other 2 SEC schools higher.
Yeah, barring catastrophe, A&M is going to make it in, and that one follower we have is going to call in and laugh at us. We give it up to you, bud. You were right.
You were right.
My number 5 team is Miami of Florida. They will win the ACC. I think they'll go with just the 1 loss, and I believe Miami of Florida will still have enough respect to finish number 5, and that's where they're going to end up as the ACC champ in the 5-hole.
Yeah. My number 4 team, Georgia Bulldogs. They got 1 loss on their record, but when you look at their schedule, they're playing great. Gunnar Stockton has got this team putting up major points. Defense on Georgia is able to shut down teams, but when you look at their schedule, Florida, they're going to beat Florida. Mississippi State, they're going to beat Mississippi State. Texas, I lost all faith in Texas. I think they're going to be favored in that game. They're going to beat Texas, Charlotte, Georgia Tech. These are all games that I have a good shot of them winning and being 11-1 or 10-2. This is a team that I'm high on. I think they're going to be contenders in this SEC. I like Georgia. That's why I have them at 5.
The Georgia Tech-Georgia game looks pretty good at the end of the year now, don't it?
It's a big game.
I mean, even though it ain't SEC involved. My number 4 team is Texas A&M. As it sits right now, they will be in the SEC championship game in my mind. They have a real strong shot at going undefeated. They do. But it's very hard to go undefeated in the SEC. We know this. We know the SEC top to bottom is a list of killers. So it's awful tough to go undefeated in this conference. But right now I have them number 4. They could easily swap with Georgia, but I got A&M at number 4.
Yep. So my number 3 team making it into the playoffs, the first round bye, is going to be Indiana. I had to drop them there just because I have a little more faith in the other 2 teams ahead of them. But right now their schedule's all winnable. They could possibly win out, be 12-0. But as far as the rankings are going to go, I want to rank these other 2 teams ahead of them. You got UCLA, Maryland, Penn State, Wisconsin, and Purdue, all winnable games. I have them at 3, which they could finish higher than that.
Yeah.
But right now, my power rankings in my head, I got the other 2 teams ahead of them.
Yeah.
That's why I'm at 3.
Not a bad explanation. I have Alabama at 3. SEC champ, in my opinion. The bad thing for this team now is I think the Florida State loss is going to come back and haunt them as far as putting them up higher. Mm-hmm. Because to me, the way I see the top two teams are going to play each other in the Big Ten championship, so their one loss will be to the other, which is a far better loss than what Alabama has. But it is conceivable that the committee would see them as number 2, but I got them at number 3. I got them winning the SEC, and I got them as a very legitimate threat to anybody in the country.
Yeah, yep. Well, with that being said, my number 2 is Alabama. Yeah. Alabama, take out that one first game of the season where they stumbled out of the gates and lost to Florida State. Doesn't look like a good loss, but they've been ripping up teams right now. Mm-hmm. They smashed Vanderbilt, you beat Missouri, you beat Tennessee, schedule ahead of them, South Carolina, they're going to win that game, LSU, Oklahoma, Eastern Illinois, and Auburn. This team, if they win out, is going to be, in my opinion, have one of the toughest schedules that they played, and they're going to be in that SEC championship game. I have them at my number 2 seed right now because if Indiana plays Ohio State in the championship game and Ohio State beats them, they're not going to be ahead of Alabama. So that's why I have them at number 2, just looking ahead. Power rankings, in my mind, Alabama's got a tougher schedule.
Well, I can't believe you would think Alabama could possibly go undefeated with a team like Eastern Illinois on their schedule. Come on now. I agree with a lot of what you said. I'm not saying that Alabama couldn't beat Indiana.
Right.
I'm just giving you the facts of how I look at it. Because
I
use the whole season. I don't say, week 1 doesn't count. Alabama's a good football team. And I do believe that they could be number 2, but in my rankings, because of the way I'm breaking it down, because I think Indiana and Ohio State's going to be a close game. Mm-hmm. But my number 2 is Indiana.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that at all.
And here's the thing. Indiana has come out and waxed people. Let me say this. If you didn't have respect for them, you better have after they beat Oregon 30-20. This team laid the groundwork last year, and here they are undefeated now. And you know who their only 2 losses to were last year? Not that it matters a whole lot. Were the winner of the national championship and the team that was runner-up. This team is good.
Yeah.
I don't care how you slice it. I would not have a problem with somebody sneaking Alabama or A&M or Georgia over them if the thing works out correctly. Mm. And who knows? Might be Ohio State that loses to Indiana. It's that close, folks.
Yeah.
But Indiana's my number 2.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree with you. I just foresee that my belief and my panel would be that if it plays out, Alabama wins the rest of the season and Indiana wins the rest of the season, we're in the Big 12 championship. Ohio State knocks Indiana down, and Alabama wins that. I think they're going to have the Big 10 champ at 1, SEC champ at 2, and then Indiana at 3. That's just the way I saw it and the way I look forward at it.
And that's not
obviously number 1, Ohio State. They deserve it. I don't want to hear anybody out there. You all were out there bragging up Miami because they had, 3 top 25 wins? Well, one thing I got to say to you is you got to win every game. All these teams, why'd you lose to an unranked team? I don't want to hear it. You got to win all your games. There's no argument. The hardest thing at rankings is you undefeated. Undefeated is the hardest route to go. Yeah. So if you run the table and you're undefeated, you got to be ranked high. Mm. I don't want to hear an argument because you just watched your big, gruff, tough Miami get beat by an unranked team. So Ohio State just keeps winning and beating teams handily, shutting them out. That defense is great. That offense is powerful. They're the number 1 team, easily.
Buckeyes are number 1 as it sits right now. I agree with you. Yes, people want to say, this and that. We've seen time and time again, we think Alabama is as strong as anyone in the country. They lost to 3 and 4 Florida State, folks. Texas A&M, another great team, and they are a threat. All these teams are threats to the Buckeyes. Mm-hmm. A&M just slipped by Arkansas, which lost to Memphis, which if you weren't paying attention in class, Memphis just lost to UAB.
Right.
How many of you know what UAB stands for? There you go. Don't want to hear about, oh, they played this team when they were top 25. I don't care what they were ranked 4 weeks ago. Okay? Where was Clemson? Penn State? All these teams were ranked. You're not going to let us use that. Oh, well, Ohio State beat number 1 Texas. How's that sound? You don't want to use it for that? I don't let you use it in any other way either. It matters at the end of the season who wins, who loses, win the games in front of you. I don't care how tough your conference is or how weak it is. Win every game, you get in. Win enough games, you get in.
Yes.
That's the bottom line here, folks.
Yeah.
This is not the Big Ten versus the SEC. We're not putting all 16 SEC teams in because you people think they're the top 16 in the country. We're not Paul Feinbaum here.
Yeah.
Every team plays. Every conference is tough to win in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get it straight.
Yeah. Like I said, you got to win every game.
That's right.
If you win every game, you're undisputed.
Yeah.
That's how that goes.
Yes.
You lose to a top 25 school, okay. You lose to an unranked team. You got to win the games. You can't run your mouth and say this team's better and then lose to an unranked team.
No.
So that's going to be our top 12 right now as it sits. I think what a great bracket here. We got a great playoff
It's gonna
system
be
coming
fun.
up here. I mean,
it's gonna
college
be fun.
football is the best.
And I'm sure it'll change.
Yeah, there's possibilities of these teams. Here, last 2 weeks, we've had 5 teams in the top 25 week in and week out get beat. So anything's possible. But right now, those are the teams that I feel have a best shot, and you feel have the best shot at making it into the playoffs. So like and subscribe. Definitely let us know what you think, because this is so much fun here. We enjoy this. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Peace.